It's January. Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones. This is the first wide release coming out in 2014, the first movie I'm reviewing in 2014, and Hollywood seems to be following a very similar trend lately. The first movie they release in January tends to be a horror film. Last year we had Texas Chainsaw 3D. In years past we had One Missed Call, The Unborn, The Devil Inside, and we're doing it again this year. A common trend with all of them is that they suck. This one follows in that same path. So in this movie, we have these two buddies, and of course they film everything that happens, because if they didn't film everything that happens, you wouldn't have a movie. Their downstairs neighbor is this creepy lady, and she dies, and they decide to go down there and investigate what happens. Now this one guy becomes marked. He becomes marked by some sort of strange entity that actually gives him superhero powers. Now this movie is really dumb, and when I'm talking about dumb, I'm talking about these characters are so dumb. Their first initial thought when their downstairs neighbor is murdered, after the police leave, is to go in there with their cameras and touch everything in the crime scene. Just they touch everything, print everything, and incriminate themselves in the process. Of course, they don't have to worry about that though, because this is Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, where nothing makes sense. When this guy realizes that he has all these powers all of a sudden and that something seems to be following him around, he thinks it's amazing. Like he all of a sudden can drop and just float and he doesn't actually land. He never actually questions it. He's like, whoa, this is awesome! I mean, he starts like talking to this thing through that Simon game. Remember that old Simon game, the musical? You had to remember the buttons and everything? Yeah, the thing starts like talking back to him. They just all think it's so cool. I mean, they think it's the greatest thing ever, and they never seem to question the fact that this is not normal, my friend. But basically what this movie is a scene-to-scene build-up to a very loud jump scare. And generally it's a false scare where a guy comes out of something and goes, "Oh, I gotcha!" And that's really all we have here. There are a couple of cool scenes in the movie where the guy gets these powers and he can do stuff and it looked cool on screen and everything. There isn't really anything about the movie that's scary. It's just you're anticipating a very loud, booming noise that will jolt you because it's loud as hell. That's not scary, that's just... it's just sound effects. Now there's an element to this movie that is really dumb and stupid, and it's really the main thing that bothers me, and it's a spoiler. Now look, I do not recommend that you guys see this movie. It is a very dumb movie. So I'm going to give you a very big spoiler warning here, because I'm going to tell you this thing because I just can't do this review without expressing it. If this was a better movie, I would not spoil it, but this is an awful movie. I've given you a fair spoiler warning about the ending of this film. If you don't want to know about it, that's okay. Don't see this movie though, please. They decide to use time travel to connect this film with the others. Time travel. How stupid is that? Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones is a film that I cannot call scary, despite the fact that there were moments in the movie where I went, but simply that's because there's a loud noise it's just a loud noise. That's not scary. There's no real tension or fright to that. It's just you don't want to be startled by this loud, ear-piercing noise. The characters in this movie are so idiotic and so stupid, and the ending is just dumb. I'm gonna give Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones a D. I'm not giving it an F because there are a couple cool scenes where he has these powers and everything, but this is not a good movie. Don't check it out. I mean, it's the first movie in January. What do you expect? There's another one of these coming out later this year. Fantastic. So guys, what do you think of the Paranormal Activity series? What are some of your favorite moments or films? Let me know below. As always, guys, thanks very much for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.